This is Searching for the Truth. I know it's been a while since I made any videos, but I had some free time on my hands today, so I'm all amped up and ready to go. I noticed this image that you are seeing right now on my Facebook, and yeah, I do have a Facebook. I use it mainly to keep up with what's going on in the world, as I don't really have cable. I kind of, use the Facebook to kind of keep tabs on what's going on with stuff out there. Anyway, scrolling through, I saw this photo. And I knew it would be a controversial photo. So, of course, I went and clicked on it and looked at some of the comments. And as it says, I love the way the Earth rotates. It really makes my day. Okay, well, some of the comments went as, well, the moon is not to scale. Please fix that. Because obviously, this is a frickin' CGI image. So that's why the moon is not to scale in their little made-up fairy tale land. Well, there were some other comments. Some of the guys that are, what should I say, brave enough to actually put some words out there that are against the mainstream, and they said they're stationary. Well, then of course you click into those comments and someone says, well, using the Bible is terrible. That discredits you right off the bat. Using the Bible to prove that the Earth is stationary it disproves your validity right off the bat, which is it bothers me a lot because the Bible is the oldest book that we have on Earth, and it's one of the oldest books that we have on Earth. So why would you not believe it? We've got I guess when they started finding out about the Earth being a ball. Yeah, that was way back in the day, blah, blah, blah. But the Bible itself is one of the oldest books that we have. So why in the world would you not believe it? And of course, they go into name calling and all the terrible things that they say. It's so hard to talk to someone who believes that the Earth is a spinning ball because, it makes their head spin, truthfully. It really does. Like, I don't know if any of you have had issues with trying to talk to people about it. I always tread lightly when going into it. Like folks like D Marble, I admire that guy 110%, riding around in a van that actually says it all over it. I think that's awesome. I'm taking some of his tips here recently, and I'm going to start paying with cash more often and writing on the cash, NASA lies, research flat Earth, because it needs to be researched. We need to know that we've been lied to, and it is hard to believe. It is at first. Some of us, believe it instantaneously, which, to be honest, when my father told me, I literally did. I believed it wholeheartedly right away. Well, other people don't have it like that. Other people are so far into the matrix that they can't come out. And it's our job as, people that are awake to try and help lead them the right direction. And it may be hard to do. I'm not going to lie and say it's not hard. It is hard. But there's been plenty of proof. You think about the salt flats and how vast that land is. That water is, and how flat that water lays. But supposedly the Earth curves 8 inches per mile, but yet you can look 4 miles and see a big flat horizon line on the salt flats. That has to mean something to these folks, and it doesn't. And that's, I don't know, I feel like that's hard for me to believe. How can you look at something with your eyes and see it and then still believe BS made up bullcrap, I don't understand it. I try to understand it. Even as a kid, though, I was one of the ones that always questioned everything. I always asked why. I always asked who they were because, they say. I always asked who they were. As a child as well, it was hard to wrap my head around the ball Earth because I couldn't place hell into that equation. I'm like, okay, there's heaven, there's hell. Heaven's above us, but where's hell? And then, you know, I thought, okay, so is Australia, are they standing upside down over there, or are we standing upside down? It was really hard to wrap my head around that. So then I assumed, okay, well, hell must be in the mantle, and that's where all the magma is, so that's where hell is. That's why it's so hot, right? So depending on if you're standing upside down, it's under your feet, and then depending on if you're standing right side up, like we are, then it's under our feet. But the sky and the constellations are the same. You can do your own experiment, and I've done this multiple times. I go outside at the same time at night, and I find one constellation. And you can do this wherever you are. If you can find one constellation standing in the exact same spot every single night that you do this, the exact same time, the exact same spot, you will see that constellation in the same part of the sky every single night. If we were spinning on a ball, how in the world, how does that happen? It shouldn't happen, because we should be spinning so often that it changes every so often. But it doesn't. It's in the same place every time. I mean, that's an experiment you can do on your own time. D Marble, again, he did a great spirit level video, which you guys should totally check out because it's legit. I mean, it's a really good video. It proves a lot of things, but even still, even with definitive evidence and proofs, these people completely deny that the earth is flat. And I mean, it sucks. It really does. And some of my good friends believe that the earth is round, and it's really hard to talk to them about this. I don't even try to bring up the topic because it's going to cause an argument. And it's not a debate, it's an argument is what it boils down to. Debate is an argument, truthfully, but who wins the debate? And it's usually going to be them, because it's hard to talk to them. It's ignorance at its best. I mean, that's truthfully what it all boils down to. But I just wanted to do a quick little video on this and see what you guys thought. And, you know, if you have any comments or questions or anything, just leave them in the description. You know, I'm still getting my feet wet and all this, and trying to do better and get as much information to you guys as I can. I'm probably not the best at making videos, I understand that, but, you know, I'm trying to get better. My goal is to build my channel. That's my goal, because I want to reach people. And Flat Earth is not the only thing that I want to talk about, but it's just one of the, you know, one of my passions, because I feel like it's the center of everything. If you can prove that the earth is flat, then, you know, everything else kind of falls into place. And a lot of folks like to use the media, which we should talk about the media, and I will make some videos on the media and how they try to brainwash us. And in fact, I'm about to do that right now. But it's just one of the things I feel like that's the center of everything is the earth. And if you know the shape of it, and you learn that NASA lied to you and that you've been lied to your entire life, it kind of starts making everything else click. And maybe this video will help some people. Maybe my next video that I make on something else will help. I don't care what it is. I'm going to continue. If I can touch one person's life and they can touch another person's life, that's the thing. It's a chain reaction. We got to stick together. We got to make this thing work. I appreciate you guys for taking the time. And like I said, if you have any comments, please leave them in the box below. And I'll try to find that spirit level video from D Marble and put it in the description section. Thanks, guys.